Um, well, Nastya was saying that she had a meeting with parents. I know that some teachers find it very stressful to talk to parents and sometimes more challenging than to talk to students. How about you?
So as for me, I have a meeting with the parents every holidays. Uh,
Mhm.
so
Before, yeah, or on holidays.
on holidays, every Monday, the first day of the holidays, from 2 o'clock, from 2 till 8 o'clock, parents can come to our building and just discuss everything that they want.
Mhm.
So I'll just used to it. Used to, yeah.
Yeah, I am used to it.
I'm
Yeah.
used to it. Yeah, I'm
Uh-huh.
used. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not stressful for me. Even I'm just looking forward to seeing them.
Uh-huh.
And
But this is like face-to-face
yeah,
discussion,
yeah,
one-to-one, I mean. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nastya, in your case, was it a one-to-one meeting or was it a like a group of parents talking to you?
First, we have Farida talk to all the parents, and then we had small meetings with
Mm-hmm.
tutors.
Mm-hmm. With parents. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Well, do you think it helps, meeting with parents?
For sure, because the older the child, the more uh, independent it is. That's why they don't often come in, and we
Nastya, can you say that again? Because
uh,
because a
they don't
disconnection.
if they don't often come to the um, building
Mm-hmm.
and we see them really often. That's why
Mm-hmm.
we can't share the results, uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the failures. Of course, for young while the situation is different. In most
Yes.
cases, we see them really for teenagers.
Yeah, like for feedback, for constant
Yeah,
feedback. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, if we think about your personal weeks, the highlights of the week, what was the highlight of the previous week? Was it something that was challenging or something that was enjoyable, or maybe things that you have been planning to do in the nearest future? What is that about? Mhm.
So as for me, it was the week when we had holidays, I and my
Mhm.
son, but the week was quite tough because so as you know, Monday it's the time when my students' parents usually come. So on Tuesday we have a lot of like meeting
Mhm. Mhm. At
and
work, yeah.
work, yeah,
Mhm.
and I have to present some ideas, results, and so on of my students in different meetings,
Mhm.
and and then was Wednesday and Thursday when I just worked, but on Friday finally I have like a day off, and
Mhm.
I and my son went to Baden High and have a lecture about cosmonauts. So
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
to uh, celebrate, I don't know, the
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
learn something more about these holidays. Yeah.
Mhm. Did your son enjoy the visit?
Of course not. It was like agreement that he went to this lecture, and after that we went to the cafe.
Mhm. And he was looking forward to the cafe,
Of course.
I see. Okay. A mother who is a teacher is trying to educate her son in
Yeah.
every, you know, possible, at every possible moment.
I try, but it's quite difficult. So, by the way, about plans, we have already discussed with Nancy that we have some problems with our timetable. Next Sunday, next Saturday, maybe, I'm not sure, but the possibility is quite high that I have to go with my students to their oral exam, speaking part of the exam.
Mhm, mhm.
So I'm not sure that I have the possibility to join our meeting, unfortunately. But I try to do my best. in
Well,
order to-
I'm going away and I'm going to have a family event. I was also considering if it's, I'm not sure about the internet connection there. Well, we can, if Nastya, it's okay with you, we can reschedule the lesson in 2 weeks' time again. So what do you
You
say?
need to listen to my news. On the 27th of April, my daughter is going to have
A birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Right. We
why.
have to reschedule a lot of things.
Yeah, that's why we thought that it's going to be tough time.
Tough time. So should we have a kind of a holiday then?
We will do whatever you say.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is that, well, I have only Wednesday mornings which are free, and 24th is busy.
Mhm.
Actually, and that's why I know that Katya has a very tough timetable, so they don't overlap. Yeah.
But
So
on
mhm.
Wednesday, I'm not sure, but we can try. We could try.
You mean
First,
17th? Wednesday 17th?
7,
I'm looking at the calendar at the moment. It's
yeah, even
next Wednesday.
17 or 24, yeah?
24th, I have a
24th is
business
busy.
meeting at work, and too many people are involved. I can't reschedule that.
Mhm.
But 17th, I'm going to be away, but I'm not going to be on the road. So that's why I hope the connection will be okay. So I can plan morning for you if you are available.
I'm working
You are
Mm.
working in the morning, yeah,
from 9. Mhm.
from 9. Oh, that would make your morning too busy. What shall we do?
Have a 2 weeks gap.
A 2 weeks gap. And then there will be May holiday. Will you
Yeah.
available? So there will be like 3 weeks gap.
So it's I just even thought about it in the morning that we have to start our next course at the beginning of
Earlier.
September, so when we are full of energy.
Well, I can set a home assignment based on the book, but I can find some relevant articles or assignments that will you be able to meet at least for a coffee break together, like to talk?
Yes.
Yes, of course
Mhm.
we can.
Well, because work is work.
Mhm.
Well, a child's birthday is an important event, annual event, and the mother should focus on, solely on that thing. It's understandable. Mm, well, what do we say? No other options available?
So as for me, the situation like by this time of the period, the situation like that on Monday, Wednesday, and somehow on Friday, I have some gaps because my 10th grade students usually have lessons on the second part of the day.
Okay. Nastya, what about you?
Mm,
When do you have mornings free? Because evenings are usually busy. Everybody has
So
like
I work only on Fridays from the afternoon.
in the afternoon. So,
Mhm.
and Wednesday next week is also busy. Yeah.
Yes. All the
Mm.
other days I start working till 9.
At at night.
From
At
9 at
At
9.
9. So you have morning classes and well, Katya has evening classes, right?
Yes, we've got lunch gaps from
Uh-huh.
because we meet on Wednesday. I forgot at what time. At 12:30.
Wednesday 12:30?
Yeah, we usually meet with Kate and do our homework.
Okay. And if it's the 17th of April lunchtime, are you both available or not?
Kate.
So I have to be available, but I'm not sure because everything like changed. By
Yeah,
this,
I see that lunchtime
I
is
can't
kind of
just
be
control.
unpredictable.
Yeah. By this time, I have to be free.
So what should we do? And when do you usually, Kate, busy? When do you usually find out about the timetable? So can we plan something? Because it's kind of easier for us to plan things at least a couple of days in advance.
So, yeah, I think we can plan. And I'll try to do something on Wednesday if so if something is changed.
So you were saying that it's 12:30, right?
Mhm.
12:30. Okay. Right. Ladies, then Kate, when can you let us know if we can have a class at 12:30 on Wednesday?
On Wednesday.
No,
Yeah,
Wednesday
I
in the
know
morning.
that I have to be free, but something can happen, and they like said, "Oh, you have to be at work, and now you're free, so you will do this one or this one."
Oh, I see. That's very unpredictable.
But
Mm,
но все-таки я должна быть свободна. I kill you. Сейчас it's not for you, girls.
we got that. Don't worry too much about that. Ну, давайте, чтобы укоротить эту часть нашей договоренности и не тратить
Ну,
на
давайте
это.
попробуем в
Да, сейчас
среду.
давайте. Okay. So we move on. Finally, we agreed on the timetable, and I would like you to think a little bit about grammar. Do you like teaching grammar?
No, I
No? Yes? So think about yourselves as teachers.
I used to dislike it, but
Mhm.
now it's quite comfortable,
It's easier. Why is that?
easier.
Uh-huh.
Because I used to explain in difficult structures,
Mhm.
do a lot of writing on the board, and
Mhm.
to make it, I thought that I was making it as simple as possible. But the result was the opposite. Now, using our approach, it seems easier. For as example, we'll speak about the form.
Like this, when you involve students into the process of
Mhm.
explanation, the discovery
To
phase.
analyze the grammar structure, to understand it better.
Katya, how do you feel about grammar, teaching grammar?
so it's not like I don't like this process, but somehow it's not so dynamic maybe as teaching
Mhm,
vocabulary.
mhm,
So it's quite um, boring, I can even say.
uh,
Of course, and even my students like it because I don't know why. Maybe because, like in their mind, that grammar is essential part of English, and you have to know all the time. So
this
let's
grammar-based approach, they
yeah,
know it's important, full stop.
it's very important. Why don't you concentrate on it? Yeah, and but for me, it's quite boring. Because after even we discussed different forms, find different uh, examples of this or that rule, we have to do some exercises. And
Mhm,
uh, unfortunately, I know that my students uh, won't do it without me, or they find something that where they can cheat it, they will
mhm,
cheat it. So
mhm.
that's why I know that I have to control it and be with them like while
Uh-huh.
they are doing something.
So more creative tasks, yeah, they are more productive. Is
Yeah,
that so? Yeah, that's when there are, gap fill tasks, students find a way to
yeah.
copy the answers. I see. Right, I agree that people think it's important, but from time to time find it boring and don't focus too much on it. Anyway, if we talk about the basic things, our students at the level of, I don't know, elementary plus pre-intermediate. So, and we think of simple and continuous forms. So what do we usually teach? So when we teach them to compare the forms, like present simple and present continuous, or past simple and past continuous. So what do you say? What do you usually focus your students on to compare the structures so they are able to distinguish between the two? Mhm.
On engine, auxiliary verb, the meaning of
Structure, the form is understandable. Focus a bit on the meaning. So what do,
Yeah, I like
mm,
continuous. It's like the
mhm,
process. And
mhm, mhm,
simple, it's like the habit or something that is constant.
mhm, mhm.
So,
Okay. Right. So if we think of the meaning, so and we explain certain things to our students, and we say when we talk about complete, or we say completed actions. So what would it be? Simple or continuous?
simple,
True, absolutely. If we teach them to talk about
temporary,
temporary,
temporary activities, that would be,
temporary possibility.
yeah,
continuous.
temporary, continuous, absolutely. Talk about facts or unchanged states.
Simple.
Yeah, definitely simple forms, and emphasize duration. Kate was talking about this,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
repetition.
continuous.
Yeah, at higher levels, we know the basics, and we focus on variety and the usage of the forms, and using simple and continuous verbs in different tenses. But here I have uh, 3 examples. I'll put 3 of them, which we would probably teach at higher levels, or we
Mhm.
focus a bit more at higher levels. Let's look at the first one. She was,
Irritation.
Repetition.
yeah. So usually we teach at B2 level, we would probably teach the word always here,
Mhm.
always plus continuous. So when we demonstrate that a person is irritated or annoyed or unhappy about something. What is the idea? Why constantly with present continuous? Does it happen regularly or too often?
To
Well,
the
Mhm.
negative
Yeah, like more often.
connotation.
Yeah, more often than it sounds natural.
Mhm.
Yeah. Are there any examples of a similar usage that you can, come up with about people around or about you?
My husband is always coming home
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is always coming home
late.
late. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But now not.
And I'm happy about it. Yeah.
He is
Uh,
always staying at home now.
He's always staying at home now. Is he always cooking?
Yes, but he always cooks. I'm
Cooks.
not irritated by the fact
Yeah. I have a holiday. Yeah.
from cooking. Yeah.
Yeah. A break from cooking. Good. Mhm. Looking on the bright side of things, right?
Yeah, sure.
Of course.
Finding
Right.
advantages.
Kate, what about you? Any examples? Like a. Mhm.
Like my son is always getting away with murder, especially at school. Because he's so charming that teachers love him, and sometimes they couldn't believe that it was he who did that,
Something
or who,
wrong.
yeah.
Okay. Look at B. Look at B. I was hoping I could borrow your camera. So why do we use continuous here? Well, think of the context.
For me, it's difficult to comment on B and C.
Well, this is like a higher level usage, and I want you to focus a bit on this one. This sounds, does it
Before
sound
I ask,
polite? Does it sound polite? I hope
yeah.
well, we
course.
use continuous to sound less direct and
Ah,
more polite. When you want, actually, the idea is I want to borrow your camera,
yeah.
which is very direct. When you want to put it milder, more polite, you would say, I was hoping I could do this. And here, this is the meaning. Well, let's think about this usage. And again, past continuous is more appropriate, though it's present here. It's time to go home. Sounds direct.
Or past continuous.
Yeah.
You forget only it's time.
You remember this? I wish we did. I wish we hypothetical. And again, this one sounds more polite. It's time to go sounds direct. It's time we were going, like we're kind of late. Well, we should be going, or we were going. Again, a very polite way of saying that, but just take notes and focus on the structure that here we have this present and then we usually have past continuous, yeah, to emphasize this polite way of saying.
So only past continuous.
It sounds again, it's less direct, more polite, but here it's like this, I wish, the phrase.
No, I wish I had.
We had something, yeah, and we have past, and this is not about the tense. It's about, well, kind of condition. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So take a moment, have a look at this sentence. I would like you to take some notes and then we'll discuss. So put the verb in brackets in the correct form. Number 2. Okay. You have some ideas? Yeah, let's discuss what you have here. So in number 1, what do we have in
I'm
number 1?
hoping you would give me some tips. It's like the first.
Yeah.
B.
You can say, I had been hoping to sound also polite, like past perfect continuous is also possible because of this I would. But I was hoping sounds natural and simple. So what about number 2? Hasti, what do you say?
First, I thought about she's being difficult.
Yeah, she's being difficult today. Why not she is difficult?
Are we irritated?
Yeah, and
Can't
is it
speak
about
with
her?
her.
Is her in general?
No, it's the
It's about
temporary
her
state.
behavior today. Yeah, being means behaving, yeah, in this context.
It's time we were leaving.
It's time we were leaving. Yes, that's right. So what about this one?
It impresses
Mm-hmm.
You
a
are.
great deal that
Mm-hmm.
you have.
Yeah.
You are.
You, well, look at this.
Yes, я написала, you were achieving so much already, but
Were and already doesn't go together very well.
you have been achieving. You had been achieving.
Usually, think about the word, the meaning of the word achieve.
You have
Is the
achieved.
focus on process or on the result? If you
Result.
praise
You
the
have
person
achieved.
for achievement, better you have achieved so much. For example, you give your students some feedback by the end of the term, and you say, it impresses me a great deal that you have achieved so much so far or already.
Yeah.
You have been working so hard. Yes, you have been doing a lot, but if it's achieve, it's more about results. Think about, we don't have much context, but think about a natural situation when we could say something like this.
We are talking about 5, yeah?
Yeah, 5, yeah.
I wasn't meaning, but when I wrote it, I think we can
like think about the word to mean.
I didn't mean, no?
Yeah, I didn't mean to frighten you. For example, you spoke too loudly, or you made a noise, and the person got scared, and you say, sorry, I didn't mean to frighten you. Yeah, to scare you. And it sounds more natural to use past simple because it's about some fact that happened a moment ago. Okay. Well, we are going to talk about different things today. We're going to talk about art, and at home you will have a chance to listen to a recording, and please focus on the usage of continuous and simple forms, because there is nothing new here except for being in real life. Very often we use continuous forms to be less direct and more polite. to sound more natural. That's the only thing that is probably new. And I want you to think of something like this. Have you seen these images? Mm-hmm. Do you know where the places are?
About the face, for sure, it's on Volker Street,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but I'm not sure about the others.
Uh-huh. This is Volskaya and Sovetskaya.
I haven't seen.
Next time when you are in Saratov, you know, walk along Volskaya, Sovetskaya, and you will see this beautiful cat. And so what do we call these things? They are graffiti. And this one is on the embankment. There is a cafe there. And this is like an inviting graffiti, you know, like welcome to the coffee shop on the embankment. Right. I don't know if there are beautiful things like this in Engels. I'm sure there are some. Next
Yeah.
time, Nastya, you might share some images with us.
I will make photos.
What will you do? You will
Take.
Yeah. And Kate, I'm sure there are interesting and fascinating things in Moscow. If you have some favorites, you know, think of something to show us so you educate us a bit. Well, let's focus on the question, is it art? And what is art? Well, because some people would say, it's just a drawing, it's not art.
And some people can even say that it is vandalism.
Vandalism, yes,
Vandalism.
true. So what do you say? What's art then?
It's a really very tricky question.
Yes, I know. There is no one way answer.
Yeah, it's something that is made by very talented people and who want to like pass their talent to our future generation, maybe to express them in order people maybe just think about something from another point of view, or just look at something routine from another point of view, and even maybe their children could enjoy their job, like, I don't know, their masterpiece.
What I have heard is that people can express themselves. They can, you know, express the message to other people and generations. Yeah, to share some message. Nastya, what do you say? Do you agree? Any extra ideas, comments here?
So for me, art or piece of art is anything that made by a person with innate ability, with inborn talent that is not for that it couldn't be done by the majority of us.
So it should be different from what other people can do.
Yeah.
But well, sometimes beautiful
sure.
drawings can be really, you know, nicely done. But well, do we call every piece of work art?
For sure, there should be some uniqueness in the work. And due to the modern century, For artists, it's really easy to express themselves, to present their ideas, and express their world.
The opinions, right? And when we say art, what do we usually imply? Because it has different, meanings.
For me, it's somehow connected with drawing, painting, and sculpture.
Sculpture, painting,
Mm,
anything else? So it can be
Buildings can be like an art,
architecture, yeah.
architecture, yeah, architecture.
And think
Or
of
literature, like an art.
literature, yeah, a piece of art. Think of photography. Is this art?
Yeah.
nowadays,
What about this one?
Yeah.
you need to have an eye for detail. Like picture.
Yeah. Look at these.
By the way, nowadays, artificial intelligence
Create, yeah,
yeah,
can
very nice pictures. So that's why I think that, but I think that pictures that made or taken by people are more emotional. But
created,
yes, they like can express the feelings, the emotion of
yeah.
of this time.
All these photos, are they artistic? They are different. Some romantic, some are not. Look at this one. They are all created by Elliot Erwitt. So open your books at page 68, 69. He's a photographer, a famous photographer. Have you ever heard his name?
I haven't heard.
Uh,
I've just even words on his exhibitions, but I unfortunately I didn't remember their names.
all the photos that I have just shown are taken from the archive of Magnum Agency. And these photographs are taken by this person. Have a quick look at his profile. This paragraph in this dark gray. Well, according to the piece of information, he's a master of, look at this, I wrote black and white
Short.
shots, photographs, yeah, of everyday life. Like, if we compare colored pictures and black and white pictures, in which way are they different? So when you look at, family albums, so how do you feel about black and white photos? Do you like them? Have you tried to print out your photos in black and white?
Yeah, I just sometimes not like print, but I've done my photos in black and white. I thought that I think that they are more like stylish. Like concentrate on the picture and nothing can distract you.
Okay. Well, have a look at, well, points in C. So I want you to think a little bit about the photographs at large. And before we discuss the points, I want you to think of the question, how has a digital camera changed the photography in general as an area?
Muy poetic.
I know that it's hard, but you know, in exams, people describe
Yeah.
pictures all the time, and a lot of candidates find it really difficult. You can imagine that sometimes our students hate pictures.
They had everything connected with
Uh-huh. Yeah, like let's think about photography in general.
so
So how have digital cameras changed that?
digital cameras made it
Mhm.
available for every person
Mhm.
to take photographs
Mhm.
and made taking photos and being a photographer and even popular job due to their developed social networking site. Now it's quite demanding.
Demanding, yeah. So
Um,
things are more accessible. I mean,
yeah,
everybody can buy, yeah, something, you know, a
and
camera.
now everybody treats it as something usual. It's not as available as 20 years ago.
Mhm, mhm. Are you interested in taking pictures when you travel, when you visit new places, in everyday situations?
I used to like taking photos while traveling, but
Mhm.
then I understood that doing it prevents myself from appreciating. It's why
I think
now
can you say that again? Because I think it was an interesting
um,
idea.
I thought that for me, photos of landscape will make some difference when I will remember about the moment in to recollect some ideas. But then I understood that the feelings that I were experiencing in this place more valuable. I need to appreciate the moment without being digital.
So taking photos is distracting.
Yeah, it's and like making video in the while being in theater or concert. These videos are not available at all. It's better to enjoy and then recollect some thoughts than watching videos. They can't express they can't express anything. I don't know why. It's my point of view.
So Kate, how about you?
So I like on the same page with Nastya because some years ago I just tried to take photos of a lot of different I don't know how a lot of different moments. But now I try to enjoy these moments and maybe took one or two photos from this or that period of my time. And moreover, I really appreciate now photos when I'm not like posing, but when I just look something and enjoy it, and maybe someone like took this moment.
More natural. pictures, yeah?
Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
more natural.
Well, still there are people who are professional photographers and who try to develop their skills.
Mm.
They could be professionals, they could be amateurs. And if we think of important skills for photographers, let's think of those points. So what do you think is important? What to choose to photograph, to take picture of?
So as far as I know, there are some photographers who are like concentrate on one area. So they can take pictures only of weddings or holidays. Like some professional photographs, by the way, it's about the development of the digital camera, can make underwater
Shots. Yeah,
underwater
they take underwater shots.
they can take underwater shots or or animals in their wild
Natural habitat.
natural habits, wildness. So, so I think it is really very important for photographers to choose one of these areas if you want to be like a professional and to develop this or that skill.
Skill, yeah. I think about the stress. If it's a picture, we say photograph. If it's a person, we would say photographer. Photographer. We have this E at the end, but the stress also changes. Photographer. Photograph, photographer. So Nastya, how about you? So what to choose to photograph or the way of photos? So what's important if we think
What's
of
important skill? Yeah.
yeah.
I think I do not know what point should I choose, but I think the first important thing of any skill it's an eye for detail and being able to imagine what the shot will be. Is it going to be a good shot or not? Like three
Yeah, like visualize the whole
yeah,
image. Yeah.
because there are a lot of photos made by people with the bad taste, and they are usual. If we talk about as an art.
Well, does equipment make any difference? Look at point 3. Is it important?
I think it is important nowadays, especially when, of course, there is a great
Competition.
Yeah, competition between professional photographers, and so of course, if we are speaking especially about, for example, photos underwater, as I have already mentioned, underwater. Here, photographers need really very expensive equipment and like cutting edge equipment.
Technology, yes, absolutely. Well, Nastya has mentioned a very good point, yeah, that a photographer should have an eye for detail. Anything else that we can say about attitude and personality of a person who takes pictures? So anything else that might be also important? What do you say?
It's like the person who should be independent
Maybe.
different ways for me, in order to express his own view on this.
Mhm. Or maybe vision, yeah, because
Vision,
view is
yeah.
like, yeah. Here we have an article with some tips, and there are some comments made by Ernest Erwitt. So I want you to read through the article very quickly, focus on the tips, and are there any points that we have mentioned? So page 69. So any points about personality, equipment, what to focus on, what kind of pictures to choose?
I didn't read the whole.
That's okay. We'll have a chance to come back to it.
As Kate has already mentioned
Uh-huh.
it should be a free person freelancer. How it's everybody like to say a person with a lot of free time. Because while working, you can't control even the things you planned for you to earlier. That's why one of his advice is to don't not plan or don't plan a lot of things because you do not know where your curiosity and
True. Any other points about equipment, attitude, Kate, that we have talked about?
Yeah, and I think we have discussed that it will be nice to focus on on a contact over form. I mean that emotions and the what's going on the photos is more important than frame of this photo, or like more important than composition. Yeah. So and what I like is that one of the advice was that the Erwitt, yeah,
Erwitt.
Erwitt.
Elliot Erwitt.
Elliot Erwitt that said that he was serious about not being serious. So I mean that, like he said, at the end of the day, you should just simply enjoy
Mhm,
the result of
mhm,
your
mhm,
job.
mhm. Well, so have a look at questions in E. We answered some of them partly, but I want you to go back to the text again, focus a little bit more on the language. While thinking of how to answer the questions, you might want to underline some phrases. Well, Kate has just quoted one, which is good. Well, think a little bit about those 5 questions that we have in E. So 4 more minutes to focus on the text. Are you ready?
Not yet.
Katya, let us know if you're ready. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. We partly covered some of the questions, but still let's go back, come back to the text and to the language. Why shouldn't street photographers plan much? Nastya has started talking about that. Kate, what does Irvid say? Why is that?
So Earth said that planning like a trap. So I mean
Mhm,
that you should just go and find something interesting
mhm,
and just wander through wander, yeah, through the streets and find an interesting shot.
Mhm, mhm.
And you should be lucky enough to stumble upon a great street photography shots.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of this stumble, when we stumble, what do we do? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Stumble upon in real life. What
Like
do you do when you
if
stumble?
someone uh, unpredictably.
Yeah, but well, usually you hit your foot or you know, over some object like a rock or something. And here it's metaphorically stumble upon, yeah?
Ну, это вроде не наткнуться, нет?
Yes. Но основное значение споткнуться.
Мгм.
And stumble, and then stumble upon, yeah, the metaphorical meaning. Yes, good. Right. Well, what should the aim of street photograph of a street photograph be according to Elliot Erwitt? Nastya, what do you say here?
Well, Kate partly covered it, question two, I think. So first, shots that made by photographers should evoke knowledge and emotion. Have more, have maybe meaning. That's why
Meaning.
that's why content should be more relevant than form.
True. Well, there is an interesting saying, visual garbage. So what do you think is meant? So
I
to
can't
balance, look at here, it's here. Balance out the visual garbage. So what is meant? So what do you think?
So he was working at the period when photographers here started developing and being one of their resources to produce ads, to make to attract customers to shop using different pictures at the window display, for example, using different signs.
And Nastya, do we have a lot of visual garbage now?
Even more than this period of work. That's why he wanted to remember that not all the photos are beautiful work and have special meaning for us. It's just a picture to attract attention, but not to educate.
Yeah.
Or to share some ideas and.
True. Katya, any comments here?
I think I agree with Nike.
Yeah, that's you know, good photos should and it's mentioned here, they should evoke, yeah, emotions.
Evoke knowledge and emotion. And
True.
evoke, it's like express,
Create, yeah, provoke us, yeah, make us experience them or think of something, yeah. Create emotions. So something can evoke emotions, and images or art could be it's highlighted. Evocative, yeah. The adjective is evocative, yeah. Okay. Well, you remember that we use the word emphasize and emphasis a lot. And what do we do with emphasis? And it's also about art.
Highlight.
well, look at this. We highlight, we put emphasis on something
over something.
or with something, yeah? So we can say emphasize something or put emphasis on something. Mhm. So it's possible to say rather than, but over something sounds really good. Mhm. Okay, then there was an interesting question about attributes. Number 4, what are the
Mhm.
attributes? What is the synonym when we talk about attributes?
Features,
Features, qualities, yes, absolutely.
characteristics.
Yes, true. Well, according to the writer of the article, what are the most important attributes well, that a street photographer should have? Mhm.
That he or she should enjoy himself or herself themselves. I mean,
Mhm.
I have already mentioned maybe they should uh, their photos should tend to be more like playful,
Mhm.
humorous, and
Mm.
amusing. Amusing.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So that's why one of the motto of Erwit is that he shouldn't be serious. He should he
Mhm.
like yes he shouldn't be serious about not oh so he shouldn't be serious, yes. And
Uh-huh. Mhm.
that's all.
And look at this yellow box that the writer,
Uh-huh.
writes about Ernest, well, Irvit, Elliot Irvit, sorry. Well, what I more appreciate about him is you were saying about this.
Straightforward philosophies.
Uh-huh.
Philosophy.
And his wry sense of humor. Uh-huh.
Right, right.
The yellow box. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm. Have you found out? Just I'll highlight that for you. Look at this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is what you were talking about. When we talk about right sense of humor, how do we understand this from the context?
Maybe very natural.
And this is the ability to show something serious or something not very nice in a funny way, in a humorous way. Like, is it only important for photographers?
About writers.
Writers as well. Yeah, no, like the sense of humor is really important. The ability to show serious things in a kind of funny way, like in a humorous way. So we move on, and there was an interesting question, the last one, about an alien mindset. What does the writer mean at the end of the article? Keep an alien mindset.
So
Nice. What do you say?
It's about being observant while walking along the street, to be able to notice interesting events, details that will evoke some knowledge. And in order to do it, you should treat everything strange, unusual, and like you see it for the first time, like an alien on this
Like
planet.
like be a child.
Like a child. And here with an alien that you would find intriguing, amusing, nonsensical. Look at this word. So what is meant by this nonsensical? You remember the word nonsense?
Surprising.
Like silly, yeah, like
Silly.
stupid. Like when something is nonsense, it looks
It can
nonsense,
be.
and nonsensical. Right. We highlighted like certain items of the language that focus a little bit on the adjectives highlighted in yellow, and then maybe some more phrases that we find interesting. So I think this one is really easy to understand and easy to use. So photos can be well composed. What else can be well composed?
Poems.
Poems, essays, written papers. Yeah. Well, the structure is very clear, or is
maybe
it
even music.
Yes, true. Absolutely, even music. Okay. So if we look at these two adjectives, so look at the context.
They are negative. I forgot
Yeah.
the meaning of raw. It's like not rude. Maybe
Raw vegetables, not cooked.
Yeah, like this is
not finished.
It's kind of very realistic. When it
Raw?
looks raw, it's like not cooked, but here not realistic. And when something is gritty,
not realistic,
realistic and natural, and gritty, showing unpleasant true details of a situation. So very often when we talk about evoking emotions, right, we talk about some creating positive images, but something, when a piece of art is gritty and raw, it focuses the observer, well, the viewer, on the problem, on the reality, right? So we know these adjectives, I'm sure. Something exotic. So here we have exotic lenses. So a camera usually has one lens, and well, if we talk about glasses, well, Kate's glasses, she has two lenses, and sometimes our students make mistakes that one is lens, two lenses. Exotic lenses, but more often, what do we call exotic?
Something unusual.
Difficult to find.
Yeah.
Difficult, like
yeah, maybe from a different country. Yeah, very often we specify that it's kind of unique here because it's foreign or it's alien. Yeah. And here we also have two more adjectives, ironic and iconic. Actually, the adjective ironic or ironical, both can be used when pictures or images are ironic. So what is special about them?
They are humiliating.
Yeah.
Well,
or
humiliating
maybe
with
they want us to look at the situation from the different point of view.
Yeah, because
it's not the serious one.
Because there is a word, cynical or something humiliating. They would be negative. Ironic is like the ability, to look at things differently, but with a bit sense of humor. Yeah.
Special sense of humor.
And look at the word iconic. When a piece of work is iconic, what is meant?
Like a masterpiece,
Uh-huh.
very famous,
Uh-huh.
well known.
Yeah, also set a model.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's an example. Okay. Well, so if we think a little bit about the language from the article, any interesting phrases that you have, pointed out or highlighted for yourselves?
Time to concentrate on vocabulary while reading details.
It's difficult, I know. Meanwhile, you use some good language. I think it was, the one that is used like fall into a trap of something. So who usually falls into a trap?
Animal.
Animals, yeah, usually. And metaphorically speaking, we can fall into the trap of certain behavior, yeah. Then we use the word the person who wanders around, yeah, like so what is the meaning of this one?
the person who
Without
walks,
a purpose.
yeah,
Yeah, without a purpose. Okay. Right. Mhm.
I like evokes knowledge and emotions.
Yes,
Yeah.
being evocative and evoke, yeah, true.
Put more emphasis.
Emphasis, yeah, we talked about
We
this
have
one.
already used.
Discussed, true.
Curious eye, to have an observant and curious eye.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, observant and
Observant.
curious go very well together. And look at this, certain opportunities we can face certain situations, or we can come across certain situations, but opportunities and situations can like if you change the focus, opportunities can
Will present
themselves to you. Yeah, you can experience something, but some situations can present themselves to us and we grab a chance, yeah, to do something. When we talk about meanings and content, right, I think the word which is really good, but we all know it, like look at this, straightforward philosophies, straightforward ideas. They could be complex ideas, hidden ideas, and something that is visual and clear and easy to see, like straightforward ideas. Yeah, like also could be a good one. So what I want you to think of, think about this, the Villa Borghese Gardens in Italy. This photo that has been chosen to be published in the book. What do you think of the photograph? Think of the adjectives that are in the article that you can use to comment on the picture. So how does it look?
It's ironic, maybe.
Ironic. Definitely I'm using and a bit, if we look at the statue,
Humorous.
and humorous and
Humorous, yeah.
nonsensical, right? Definitely like this. You remember, well, just a second.
Very realistic, like
Very realistic, absolutely. Well, you remember his other photos that what about this one?
not
Look at
ironic.
the adjectives.
Yeah.
It's very
Gritty
gritty
Great.
and raw.
and raw. Yeah, this is an example of a gritty and raw photograph,
Mm.
which shows
Discrimination.
discrimination. Yeah, discrimination. Look at these two groups. Again, focus on the adjectives.
Oh,
It's well composed.
Yes, definitely. Well composed. Uh-huh.
ironic.
Ironic. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And playful, right?
Playful, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Humorous.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's nonsensical.
Uh-huh. Nonsensical. Yeah, definitely
Nonsensical.
common sense, nonsensical.
Nonsensical.
Definitely nonsensical. Is it meaningful?
Not at all.
Well, think about the
But-
owner of these two
Yeah.
animals. Yeah, like the way they look. Definitely well composed because it's a way of visualizing just the shot, right? Okay, back to the questions on page 68. So above the look at this. As an alien, what would you find intriguing, amusing, and nonsensical? So when you, I don't know, walk around your own city, or when you travel around, do you like wandering around, observing people, noticing things?
Yeah, I really
Mhm.
like. Even
Mhm.
just when I come to some new places, I try to choose the place in the cafe near the window in order to look at people, just to notice some cultural maybe aspects or
Mhm.
like this,
Mhm.
quite interesting.
Mhm. Well, Nastya, what would you find amusing and intriguing?
Unfortunately, I can't get rid of my, or not my, but any child's ability to freeze and observe some intriguing situations. And I noticed that my daughter doing something interesting to stop walking or doing something, observing the situation, what is going on. And
Mhm.
I, as an adult, unfortunately have these attributes too. And sometimes I like to observe some awkward situations, really nonsensical, in order to evoke how people behave inside in this situation. What do they do? How do they react? To analyze the situation. And the disadvantage of this, that it can be noticeable by people who are being observant at the moment.
Who have been observed at the moment, true. Well, then here there is a good suggestion. Look at the points, like highlighted. Like don't plan too much, focus on content, don't take things too seriously. Hone. What about this hone your skills of observation? When you hone skills, what do you do? Improve, yeah, develop. So if we think of those points, 4 points, are they relevant to other skills or jobs that you know? So what about this one?
I think, yes, a lot of people just have to follow this piece of advice, even in everyday life, not only when we're speaking about their jobs. And of course, as a teachers, we often over planned our lesson. Yeah, and especially when something is when something goes not according to our plan, it can disturb us, and sometimes the lesson can be ruined. But so that's
True.
why as the teachers we should just not replan our lesson very quickly, and
Or restructure, yeah,
yes,
restructure.
overstructure something in order to perform the lesson.
You know, deliver the lessons well. Yeah, I know, will help it, you know, go on smoothly. Well, what about being able to observe things or hone skills of observations? Is this an essential skill for a teacher?
Of course.
Any other jobs that?
Sure, it gives an opportunity for any employee in any sphere to be able to analyze the work, the situation, the problem, when there is a little bit more with distance between you and the thing that the better decision you can make.
Yeah, well, it's probably about any jobs connected with people. Yeah, like doctors.
Especially with people.
Yeah. There is you know, a strong emphasis on soft skills, right? In any job. What about mothers? Should mothers be observant? Mothers or teenagers?
We don't want to be mothers of teenagers. We decided
Oh,
on
well,
Wednesday.
Kate has already become a mother of a teenager, practically.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it at all.
It's not a matter of liking it. It's a matter of being there and coping and honing your skills of being
I even went to the doctor yesterday on Thursday.
doctor or psychologist.
No doctors, and asked for some medicine for me. I just realized that I couldn't cope with all these situations. I think psychologist will be the next step.
It's oh my God. It's hard to admit the fact that they are not children and adapt to situation, because when your mother's life doesn't work, you need to change them, and you don't know how to do
it. Okay. Well, what about this second idea, focusing on content over the form?
This advice we should say to our students when they do not want to speak, because they always afraid of mistakes.
Well, I think they were taught this way, like at schools, that we are culturally afraid of mistakes.
Unfortunately, it's
It's
difficult
not fair to blame. This is adults to blame. Yeah, parents, teachers, adults around. Yeah. Well, what about this suggestion number 3? Don't take things too seriously. Is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
In motherhood.
In motherhood especially.
Uh-huh.
Not even in motherhood, maybe in interaction with your husband too. So yeah, and I know that when I take things too seriously, everything like looks very negative. Yeah,
Mhm.
but when you're looking on the
Bright side, yeah.
yeah, on the bright side, on
Mhm.
some events, it's easier to find the decision, the proper decision for something.
Mhm. 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 Nastya, any comments here? Mhm.
the this attitude to life, I think I can say so, is not appropriate word, um, but it's a really useful advice to live without
Mhm. Mhm.
disappointment,
Mhm.
failures,
Mhm. True.
because there are lots of challenges in everyday life.
Mhm. And I'd like to like finish our talk with some suggestions, ideas from you. Like, let me flick up through the slides. So, uh, I want you to think of an animal that you think playful.
Yes.
Why is that? Can you comment a little bit of language? Why you would name the first animal that comes to mind as a cat? Uh-huh.
Maybe because I really want to have a cat, but I couldn't because my son is allergic to animals. So, and when I was a child, I used to have a cat, and the emotions that they evoked, evoke a book, yes, a book, yeah, is very warm, maybe so light.
Mhm.
It's when I come from school and one of my cats is waiting for me, was waiting for me, and we
Mhm.
play like and to relax. Uh,
Mhm. Nastya, what do you say? Which animal? Would you agree that cat is a very playful
To be
animal?
honest, I would agree with Kate if you asked me a half year ago. And I a big fan of cats, and I afraid of dogs because I was bitten by them several times
Oh.
and was taken medicine. But now my pet dream is a dog because I think these animals are more
My
playful.
dream pet, yeah?
My dream pet
Mhm.
because they are more easygoing than cats because my parents now are looking after our old cat, and she's really moody. She's
Mhm.
always angry. She's always disappointed that we
Ah.
came with a child and she doesn't want to steer us. And I changed my mind. They are not playful at all. And I know that dogs will react differently. With
Okay.
some
Um,
contact with people.
yeah, we change the topic, move on. A building that you think is iconic. Well, there are lots of beautiful buildings in the world, but the one that, or the second one that comes to mind.
So first of all, the Red Square
Mhm.
is comes. Oh, Red Square comes to my mind because it's very historic place.
Historic place. Yeah, historic
Oh,
place.
I know.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Historic place, and it's like the heart of the Moscow and even the heart of Russia, where you can just feel like I don't know, like you
Feel,
can mm,
feel at home, yeah?
yeah, feel it, not maybe feel it home, and it's very powerful places.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
So, Nastya, which building would you call iconic apart
Maybe
from the Kremlin?
uh, it's somewhere in New York. It's Central Park or mm, Times Square, because
Mm-hmm.
as a main place for main place in America. Well,
Mm-hmm. Well,
migrants, it gives gives a feeling of freedom.
mm-hmm.
It definitely I can speak English now there with someone.
Well, a lot of different cities have different landmarks, and very often landmarks, they're very recognizable buildings would look iconic, yeah. So moving on, a film you think is gritty.
Oh. So yesterday, I had a time and I watched the film Dogma. By the way, have you seen it?
No, I
And
haven't
you
seen.
won. And you won, yeah.
I don't know. It was filmed in 2023.
Yeah.
Well,
Recently.
relatively, it's new.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
No, not
haven't
yet.
seen it. Not yet.
Uh,
Yeah,
So
waiting for your recommendation.
so I wanted to discuss it with someone, but nobody watched it. So as for me, it was really very gritty,
Mm-hmm.
but it was very it is very thought provoking and raw feel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it is a French film. So there are a lot of very beautiful music, but the content, yeah, the content is very gritty. So
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
you get a chance, just watch it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want something very
Something
deep,
gritty.
something
Uh-huh.
but so
Something
provoking.
that sets you thinking, yeah? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So thanks for recommendation. Nastya, how about you?
Never watch horror films. I found them creepy. I don't like being in and wait for something
Uh-huh.
unfolding.
Okay. And the last question, a piece of music that is very powerful. Mm-hmm.
So of course we all, I think, remember the melody of our first wedding dance. Like
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
it's so when I and my husband danced on not yes
Uh,
uh,
I would say
And
definitely with or
Frank, one of the Frank Sinatra's
tones. Mm-hmm.
song. Yes, because we have a wedding like the 20s of Chicago. It was the theme of our
Oh,
wedding.
it was thematic. Wow.
Thematic.
Yeah, quite a very creative approach.
Yeah. So that's why I think I like all. approximately all songs of Frank Sinatra's, and especially this one.
By, yeah, by
By,
Frank
yes,
Sinatra.
by.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
the music that evoke emotions.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Nastya, well, what would you say?
Mhm. For me and my mom, soundtracks from film Intouchable by
Untouchable.
Untouchable.
Well, it's French. That's why I love the film.
They are really powerful.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Well, at home, I'm going to set a task where you will work with more adjectives. There will be a task to think of images and talk about them. As long as we are going to meet very, very soon, you might not have time to talk, but we can postpone this discussion of the pictures till later. And well, so that's it. Have a good weekend. Well, Kate, what about your weather? Is it nice?
Very nice. Even
Okay,
today.
enjoy some sunshine. We definitely need it in spring to restore energy. And the only language question that I wanted to comment on is, вот был хороший один совет. How would you say that?
It was a piece of advice.
Yeah, you would use a piece of advice, or there was some tip, or well, one tip or some advice. So advice is uncountable. We don't use numbers here. Okay, so rather than that, we move on, and
thank you for opportunity to postpone.
that's fine, no problem. Stay in touch, Kate. We will be looking forward to your message then that everything is as
So
planned.
if everything okay, I didn't write down.
You won't mention anything.
I
I'll
will,
see.
yes, I won't
Okay.
mention anything, and if something changed, I
Thumbs
will.
up, you will let us know. Yeah, agreed on that. See you. Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Thank you.
girls.